substandard infrastructure, old technology, antiquated labor laws, stifling bureaucracy. These are some of the main points that punish our productivity and prevent India from realizing its rightful place on the world stage. Studies have indicated that the productivity of the manufacturing industry in India is approximately 1/5 of the productivity of USA. Yet, by 2025, India is likely to become the 5th largest consumer market in the world. How will India increase its manufacturing productivity to sustain the growth of its consumer market while minimizing waste, cost, and environmental footprint? Over the next half hour, we will look at innovators who are breathing new life into India's manufacturing sector. They are doing so while simultaneously striving to achieve zero carbon emissions, zero power disruptions, and zero drudgery. Panasonic is striving to make India a manufacturing hub from which they can export products to Middle Eastern and African markets. But what makes their approach particularly interesting is the environmentally conscious way in which they are executing this approach. They are audaciously attempting to prove that it's possible to have the best of both the worlds, to be sustainable while also being productive. Follow us under the bonnet of their Techno Park in Jhajjar, a manufacturing facility that is working towards the bold goal of zero environmental damage.
A robust manufacturing sector is vital for any country for achieving high economic growth rate. Manufacturing industry is the backbone of an economy, but it comes with an ugly underbelly. Nearly 1/3 of the world's energy consumption and 36% of its carbon dioxide emissions can be attributed to manufacturing industries. India is now the world's 3rd biggest emitter of carbon dioxide. Constantly exposed to these harmful emissions are the employees. However, workers like Munish Patel have advantages of a different kind.
मैं यहाँ पे 2 साल से काम कर रहा हूँ। यहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी कंट्रोल सेक्शन में देखता हूँ। हमारा ये टेक्नो पार्क बहुत ज़्यादा इको फ्रेंडली है और एज कम्पेयर टू अदर इंडस्ट्रीज।
Within the hustle bustle of Jhajjar, Haryana, lies Munish's workplace. The vast expanse of India's first eco-friendly techno park.
If you go back on the philosophy of Panasonic, it is about eco ideas when it comes to manufacturing units. And the essence of eco ideas is driving 2 objectives. One is green life innovation and second is green business innovation. Green business innovation is whatever you do in your manufacturing capabilities or processes should consume virtually zero energy and should have virtually zero wastages.
Termed as the first Eco Ideas model factory in India, the Panasonic Techno Park manufactures an entire range of eco-friendly products with a definitive scientific edge. With a manufacturing capacity of over 10 lakh sets of air conditioners, 4 lakh sets of washing machines, and 25,000 sets of welding and cutting machines per annum, they stick to their commitment of making environment central to all its activities.
We are also working in making this factory consume zero water when it comes to testing of washing machines, which means there will be a significant amount of savings. So we will go on air testing and we will utilize air for testing our washing machines. Second is this is 100% RoHS compliant, which means the hazardous substances are permitted only to the extent of international standards. There are world-class technologies where we have made 30 or 35% of our production of outdoor units of air conditioners paint-free. So we don't paint. So there is a treatment, special treatment, which is done on the outdoor units, which makes this product paint-free.
Working towards the bold goal of zero environmental damage, this factory executes a wide range of eco-initiatives.
While you will enter this factory, you will notice that the administration block is powered by solar panels. So the entire energy consumption of this building is actually completely eco-friendly. So that is first aspect. So there are two treatment plants in this factory. One is STP, which is sewage treatment plant, and one is ETP, which is effluent treatment plant. So entire sewage water comes to the STP and is recycled and being utilized for the horticulture purposes and is consumed within the factory itself. And when it comes to effluent treatment, which is the testing water of washing machine facility, also comes to the ETP and again recycled, taken back to the factory for the testing purposes. So that's how it goes in the factory.
This state-of-the-art facility guarantees maximum productivity with sustainable manufacturing practices in a quest for zero environmental damage.
We understand that zero was actually invented in India, and today it has become an aspiration for most of the people. Our aspiration in this manufacturing unit is to have virtually zero losses, if I have to say like that. There may be a possibility that in this whole process we may consume some amount of energy, because without using some amount of energy or water or resources, it is difficult to create products. But our endeavor and aspiration is to have zero losses.
India's manufacturing industry is expected to boom. In fact, according to a report by McKinsey, the sector has the potential to create up to 90 million jobs by 2025. Before reporting on our next story, we spoke with DuPont's Anupam Jaiswal on what this means for India's manufacturers.
When you think of sustainable manufacturing, your goal needs to be zero, or you need to strive towards zero environmental impact. And you can do so by a number of things. Think about the processes that you have in place that will minimize the environmental impact that you have. Think about the energy that you use, because as we all know, energy is one of the major contributors to greenhouse gas emissions in the country. You need to think about the raw materials you use. Are you using the right kind of raw materials? Are you using them in the right manner? And are you disposing them off in a manner that is sustainable? So while I'm not sure whether we can ever get to the goal of zero within your manufacturing environment, you always have to try and strive and achieve for that by adopting manufacturing processes, practices within your workplace.
According to World Bank statistics, India lost 6.6% of sales due to power outages in 2006. Today, manufacturers regularly have to down tools due to power outages that can last the entire working day. The industrial sector has had to learn to make do with India's unreliable power system. So while we wait for a national overhaul of our entire electrical grid, what can we do to get closer to Shunya? How can we lessen our impact on the environment while at the same time keeping the lights on? SUCAM is one of India's largest power solution providers with a range of power backup products that are not only energy efficient but also reduces the user's carbon footprint.
Right now, the entire northern and eastern grid collapsed.
It's been a massive power grid failure.
Metro services in Delhi that were completely...
July 2012. The world's biggest ever blackout brought half of India to a standstill. Over 620 million people were left without electricity. Meals interrupted. Studies disturbed. And power failure at the most inconvenient of times. Occurrences that are all too common in our lives. Bridging this gap at the time of power lapses.
When the inverters were not there, there were outages, so we are able to give the power supply when there is outages.
To introduce a concept of uninterrupted and quality power supply.
Whatever you are getting from the electricity board, we are giving the same quality power from the inverters and UPSs. So there is a zero deviation as far as power quality is concerned.
In quest for greener and cleaner India.
Whatever solar systems we installed for generating the power, there is a zero carbon emission.
Kunwar Sachdev set up SUCAM, an inverter manufacturing company which produces a whole gamut of power solutions like inverters, transformers, batteries and solar products.
In 1998, I started with inverter business because, at my home, I had an inverter and it was always giving me trouble. So one day I saw that inverter and I thought that since I am in electronic business, I can do this business also.
Headquartered in Gurgaon, SUCAM was the first company in the industry to have instituted a separate research and development unit. With a record of filing 2 patents every month, it encourages its team of innovators to think, dream and build.
In 2002, we got the accreditation from the Government of India, Department of Science and Technology, for our approval of our R&D.
SUCAM manufactures batteries and transformers in-house in Baddi, the industrial hub of Himachal Pradesh. The battery plant manufactures 75,000 batteries a month, whereas the transformer plant has a manufacturing capacity of 3 million transformers every year. The company has endeavored in technology advancement and developed several life-changing innovations over the years. One such milestone was its sine wave technology. When used in inverters, it reduces the humming sound from electrical appliances like tube lights and fans.
Somebody is installing our inverters in their homes or UPSs. The power supply we give it from our inverters is much better than the electricity board, and we have been able to reduce the noise to a zero level.
Then there is the online UPS series from SUCAM, which provides constant power backup with zero switchover time.
Online UPSs are used in various applications, which is a critical, mission critical application, like in your studios, in medical equipment, hospitals, in IT area. Supposedly you buy right now 100 kilowatt and then you want to make it 150 kilowatt, so you have to just add on 50 kVA module. So this is a modular part. So in case things goes wrong, you just take out the module and replace it with the new one. So it's so easy while working, while in the system, when system is running, you can replace these units without any interruption.
SUCAM also made a foray into the solar power industry and developed various appliances to power households, industries, corporate offices and public institutions.
This is a solar power conditioning unit. What it does is, it gives you complete knowledge about what is happening in the solar. So if you see, this is the software we have developed. You can remotely see what is happening in the solar, how much you have produced in a day, how much you have produced in a week, how much you have produced in a month. These products are recently been exported to Afghanistan, American Army. When they are moving, their wireless equipments are on this. So they are carrying these equipment. Wherever solar is available, they just start the solar and start working with their equipment. In Nigeria, this is used in telecom applications, where telecom towers are there and they are using all the telecom towers on solar. Tamil Nadu government, they have used this for street lighting. They are running 10 street lights with one PCU.
With a strong presence across India and 70 countries worldwide, SUCAM meets the need of every customer with its wide range of products.
जब से हमने SUCAM का सोलर सिस्टम लगवाया है, तो हमारा इन्वर्टर भी चार्ज हो जाता है और जिससे हम सारा दिन 2 पंखे भी चला लेते हैं, टीवी भी चला लेते हैं।
इतने हैवी अप्लायंसेस भी इतने स्मूथली चलते हैं कि हमें पता ही नहीं चलता। कई बार लाइट चली जाती है और ऑटोमेटिकली अपने आप ऑन हो जाता है, तो हमें पता नहीं चलता कि लाइट है या नहीं है।
Gives me full power backup. I can even run my X-rays, my compressor machine, which is attached to the chair, with which my drill works.
SUCAM's power backup solutions are engineered to be energy efficient, reducing the user's carbon footprint.
From the power supply products that just work to truly automated production lines, that and the hidden cost of manufacturing in India after the break.
हमारे हस्बैंड तो उसी वक्त वहीं पे स्पॉट डेथ कर गए। छोटे छोटे बच्चे लोग थे, हमारे 3 बच्चे। तो मैं टाटा स्टील में मैं ज्वाइन की।
Steel was not considered as a very safe industry. Unless we make the company very safe, our people will not be safe and the families will not be safe. So we approached DuPont.
DuPont believes that if they really want to make a difference, they have to really go through the culture.
Safe industry. Unless we make the company very safe, our people will not be safe and the families will not be safe. So we approached DuPont.
DuPont believes that if they really want to make a difference, they have to really go through the culture change process.
और हम नहीं चाहते हैं कि जो हम स्टील उत्पादन करें वह उसमें खून ब्लड लगाओ, लेकिन डुपॉन्ट के आने के बाद काफी बदलाव आए हैं।
We were seeing women employees coming to the site wearing the traditional saris. That could lead to major injuries. Going and talking to the women about changing their dress is a sensitive issue. So we assembled them in a room and then we talked to them about safety. And their response was, if this is something which we need to change, we are willing to change.
हम लोग टाटा स्टील में साड़ी से पैंट शर्ट में आना पहला लेडीज थे। हम लोग पहला फर्स्ट बैच थे जिश्वनी का। बड़ी बड़ी गाड़ियां हैं, ट्रक है, डोजर है, डंपर है, लोको है, तो आप लोग चला सकते हो। तो हम लोग बोले कि हाँ सर, हम लोग साड़ी से पैंट शर्ट में आए हैं, तो क्यों नहीं ये काम करे।
If you influence the women, it has a lot of influence on the society.
सारा जगह हम लोग सेफ्टी लेके चलते हैं। घर पे आने के बाद बच्चे लोग को भी सिखाते हैं कि ये काम ऐसा है, विद सेफ्टी से करो।
You need to consider society as a part of the business and you need to give back to the society many times more than what you get from.
तैयार तो हूँ मैं माँ बनने के लिए और फिर से तुम्हारी दुल्हन बनने के लिए।
प्रसव पश्चात IUCD यानी PPIUCD डिलीवरी के तुरंत बाद अपनाने से आप बच्चों के बीच 3 साल का अंतर रख सकते हैं। सुरक्षित और भरोसेमंद, इससे आपको मिले बच्चे और पति को प्यार करने की पूरी आजादी।
प्रसव पश्चात IUCD अपनाओ और दोनों रिश्ते निभाओ।
This is the end thing. I wanna do my thing. Everything. This is the end thing. This is the end thing. I wanna do my thing. Everything.
Presenting Stingray. Everything about me packed in one. Stingray.
My thing. Everything.
Once perceived as a niche product, robots have already begun to be accepted as machines that could become a part of our daily routine, protecting us from harm by doing the dangerous work for us. What if we could replace some of the most dangerous jobs out there with robots? Could robots be the key to realizing the idea of zero workplace accidents? An exciting company called GridBots believes so. Their robotic technology is aiming for zero injuries and accidents while maximizing manufacturing productivity.
These welding robots, assembly robots, pick and place robots, and painting robots perform on a daily basis in industries worldwide. Making such robots a household name in Indian manufacturing space as well is Pulkit Gaur, who always had robotics on his mind.
Since my childhood, I have been working on various toys. First of all, I started working with toys. I used to disassemble them and try to assemble them. So disassembling was very easy, but trying to assemble them back was a bit difficult, and I had to really understand the mechanisms, which was very difficult for a kid of that age. So I started reading about machines, and before getting into engineering, I made a lot of robots. I participated in various competitions while I was in engineering. So that hobby continued, and I took my stream as a mechanical engineering, as a mechanical engineer, and I learned a lot about machines, how exactly they function, how they're designed. So that was the one of the reasons why actually I decided to start manufacturing robots instead of just be a company which programs them or which just make electronics for them.
With his hands-on experience, Pulkit Gaur established GridBots to develop robots that can minimize the risk to human life and bring a paradigm shift in how we look at these machines.
Robots are used in the situations where there is a dirty, dangerous or dull kind of environment.
If I'm talking about bomb disposal robots, or if I'm talking about robots which can carry a grenade or they can find out landmines, so we are minimizing the risk of soldiers, which is very important for Indian Army or for our nation. This way we are trying to make robots which are not replacing human beings in industry, they are trying to augment the capabilities of human beings.
Gaur and his 35-member team design, manufacture and customize robots that can think for themselves and make more energy-efficient decisions. But most importantly, GridBots aims at reducing human involvement in dangerous tasks.
For space agencies also we manufacture robots. These robots are very lightweight robots and can have multiple degrees of freedom. So various actuators can be put on them and then they can again be remotely controlled.
A key innovation from GridBots toolbox is their underwater cleaning robot that achieves zero water wastage inside nuclear tanks.
So what this robot actually can do is it can be sent inside the water tanks which is containing the nuclear material, and it can work, it can clean the tank, and you can perform various kind of operations. These are the tracks which help this robot move inside the water tank, and these are the two brushes. So these two brushes keep on cleaning the nuclear waste, and all this nuclear waste is sucked by a pump which is on board this robot. It's a heavy duty pump. So it takes all the nuclear dirt and it pumps that out. So there are filters which are mounted in the robot also. In these filters all the nuclear material is deposited, and later on these filters can be directly disposed of.
What could be the game changer in India is that Gaur's products cost a fifth of those available in the global market. Around 90% of his work is for the government for industrial use. But the potential for application doesn't end here. GridBots is also addressing the demand for consumer-level robots, especially around the household. Can't risk leaving your home unmonitored? Bring home the GridBots GSR-1 and let the stealth surveillance camera capture every action real-time for you at your workplace or wherever you are. There are even robots that can be fitted inside lifelike mannequins or a customized silicon prosthetic limb. The possibilities are exciting and innumerable.
So what we are trying to do, we are trying to make our robots look like human beings. For example, what we have done is we have collaborated with one of the companies which is also based out of Ahmedabad. They make hyper-realistic mannequins. The company name is Dirty Hands. What we have done is we have, both of us have joined hands, and we have developed robots that really look like human beings. They are more realistic, And in the meantime, what we do is like our part is to make these robots function really well.
This work that I saw was an eyeball movement, and when I saw that, I was intrigued, completely intrigued. So I asked him, I said, you know, if we collaborate and we put silicon, which is really hyper realistic, and you get that feel of flesh even when you touch it. So if we collaborate and put movement into it, it brings out that hyper realism even more.
With smart sensors and automatic localization technology, these robotic geniuses are an example of the re-engineered manufacturing process that is enabling India to achieve its quest for zero damage to human life.
So I believe Power of Shunya is something to innovate, something to start with the beginning and then take it to a new level of creativity and innovation. And this thing directly applies to my company also, because Gridbot thrives on creativity and innovation in terms of customization of services as well as our robotic products.
Manufacturing is slowly but surely regaining its importance in the Indian economic mix. The Indian manufacturing sector is experiencing something of renaissance, a wave of growth that potentially promises to roll back the decline we saw in the late 90s. If you too have an innovation that is solving or has the potential to solve some of the biggest problems we are facing today, you can write into us at powerofshunya13@timesgroup.com. This could earn you a chance to feature on this show. Until next week, from me, Anupam Kher, it is goodbye.
Our quest to find innovators continues next week on The Power of Shunya. We meet a company that is dedicated to protecting life at the most delicate stage. Get inspired by companies that are collaborating to make sure that medicines that you ingest are safe and reliable, and see how decoding your genes can cut down your risk for chronic diseases.
वही पर मन में डर हो गई जो ऐसा करतन सारी शादी में कह दे ड्राइवर से।
ट्रकों के द्वारा लगभग 20,000 दुर्घटनाएं एक साल में होती हैं। हम बिल्कुल चाहते हैं कि ट्रक ड्राइवरों के लिए हमारी ट्रक सेफ्टी हो।
DuPont has a long history of collaborating with Tata Motors, which will make the components more reliable.
बोले ले हे भगवान, हमारा आदमी तो सही सलामत लेकर चले।